Greetings, everyone. My name is Buck Business, and this is my review of Samurai Jack Season 5, Episode 10, CI, the season finale, as well as the last episode of Samurai Jack. So, we begin this episode with the female Scottish warriors gathering up, seeing Aku is about to send this message, but they are not the only ones. The party group, as well as the sea creatures, as well as these monk creatures, and the snowy white Alp creatures, and the dogs as well. All of the warriors are seeing Aku's message. He tells them about the past in the very first episode, as well as showing off that he has both Jack and the sword. So Aku is unsure of how he wants to end this with Jack in his possession. Meanwhile, Jack wants Ashi to fight. He's calling out to her, but she's still in that darker form. So, Aku wants Ashi to do it. He eventually comes to that decision, even though he kind of had that set up in the previous episode. But before she's allowed to do that, all the warriors come in to team up together to fight back. So Jack is stopped by Ashi as he's attempting to get his sword. Meanwhile, Aku is using his dark attacks to control some of the others. And these others turn into like these mini versions of Aku. So now they are doing the work for Aku as he's getting hit by all these attacks that really don't mean anything. So they charge in using these deer, and they're attempting to change the tide of the battle. The ghostly figure that we have seen, the father of all the female warriors, is leading them on. We see this green samurai soldier come in that's being controlled by these robots that were probably once freed by Jack. And that robot starts fighting Aku, and he has to recuperate because he was taking a lot of hits from this thing. Aku then makes all of the smaller versions of himself go back into him, and he calls out to the sky, and then all of these black spikes just start dropping down. So that ghostly figure uses his bagpipes and is able to blow away the arrows for the time being. So Jack is trying to push his way into Ashi, and then he sees her in this like blackness, and he finally admits that he loves her instead of just kissing her out of nowhere. So Ashi is able to get back enough control. Interestingly enough, when she comes back, she's back in that black suit that we first saw her in. So Aku decides to attack Ashi because she is now back with Jack, but she blocks his attacks with her own attacks that are of the same vein of Aku. So Ashi has Aku's powers, which also includes time travel. So Jack decides to go back with Ashi. They go back in the past back to the very first day, and he starts to attack the Aku of the past. He cuts him down part by part, and when he finally strikes him down with the final strike, the sword, interestingly enough, turns black, and then the whole area starts to blow up. Now, I thought that Ashi would actually disappear immediately after this happened, but we actually get to see him start to build this world up of happiness. And in fact, Jack decides that he's going to marry Ashi. But upon the marriage, Ashi falls down and she vanishes from existence. Jack had to take this loss in order to save the rest of the world. And you can see it to the right of me. He's seeing the world blossom once again. So the ending of this is a bittersweet ending, and I feel like that is the perfect way to send off a show like Samurai Jack. This has always been a show about, and it's been extremely prevalent in this season of, Jack has sort of been in that depressed state and he wanted to end himself. But when Ashi came along, it gave him enough confidence to get back into this role of being the Jack we once knew, and that also turned into the love blossoming factor. However, Ashi is still a part of Aku, and I think even if she had been transformed into the peaceful version of Ashi, the one with the green outfit, I think that would have not changed anything. Ashi still would have vanished, and Jack still would have been in that state that he was in. But once he sees that one little butterfly, I think he realizes that this is actually something that Ashi would have wanted, because she had said it earlier in one of the episodes when she was being taken over. She was like, Jack, kill me, because this is important. This is what needs to be done. And I think Jack realized that here at that moment when he started smiling. And I think that bittersweet ending of him just sort of looking out into the new beautiful world was just the right type of send-off to give Samurai Jack. So I've stated this before, but I think it deserves to be re-said. Even though this didn't belong to Cartoon Network this time around, I really, really hope that Cartoon Network paid attention to this, because this is the right way to bring back a show. Essentially every single one of these episodes, except I felt like 4 was a little bit odd. I think for the exception of one episode, and it was still good, this return was one of the best returns I have ever seen, and it's been years. So this proves to me two things, is that if Cartoon Network really cared, it could do something like this. It could bring something back successfully if it just took the time to care. And secondly, I think that the way that this was handled shows that even if you take years to take time off and you bring something back, that doesn't automatically make it bad. You can still make something that's been gone for a long period of time work, and I think that's the case shown here with Samurai Jack. Beginning to end, Samurai Jack has just been a phenomenal return, and I think that if we can ever see this applied to Cartoon Network, it could only help. That is the only way I see this. So, beautiful finale, beautiful season. Most of the episodes, like I said, phenomenal. So, it is with a hearty goodbye that I say this once again. If you like this review, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, farewell, everyone.